Hello, in today's video we're going to be talking about the periodic table of elements. If you see here on the screen, this is a copy of the periodic table that is located in the front cover of your textbook. This is the periodic table that we will be using for the rest of the semester. So let's quickly go through the breakdown of the periodic table, what different parts of it are, and the different types of elements that are present on the periodic table. If you notice, it's separated into things that are called groups and things that are called periods. So if we want to look at a column, so let's say the first column, this is going to be a group. The groups go all the way from the left to the right. So those are groups. And you can see that they're labeled 1A, 2A, they jump down to 3B. All of the inner metals are B's. Jumps back up to 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A. All of the groups that have an A connotation, demarcation, are main group elements. The ones that have the B's are called transition elements. So we have two different settings, two different groups of elements. We have the main group elements, the A's, and we have the transition metals, the B's. So that's all the groups. If you look on the left-hand side, you'll see that as you go down a row, we increase in number, and these are called your period number. We only have 7 periods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the reason why we break the periodic table up according to groups and periods is much the same way that you deal with chess. If any of you have played chess before, you know that each square has a certain letter and letter and number associated with it. Same thing here. If I'm talking about lithium, I can say that I'm in group 1, period 2, and it would draw me right to lithium. If I'm talking about oxygen, I could say that it's in group 6A and it's in period 2, and every chemist out there will know that that is the oxygen, or if they have a periodic table in front of them, they can follow along. So that's the simple breakdown of the periodic table. Now there are different types of elements that are present in the periodic table. We have a dividing line. These green elements are the dividing line. Anything that's to the left and below are going to be considered metals. Metals are generally shiny, they're malleable, which means you can bend them and shape them, and they're good conductors of electricity. So those are all the things that are colored in blue, including these this block down here at the bottom of the periodic table. So all of these, no matter what color of blue it is going to be considered a metal. You may notice that hydrogen up here is yellow. It acts as a nonmetal, so we don't really call it a metal. It's one of those weird things that happens on the periodic table, doesn't follow the trends. So everything to the left is metal. Everything to the right of the staircase is going to be considered a nonmetal. These can take all different types, all different phases of all 3 different phases that are found on planet Earth: solid, liquids, and gases. Most of the metals are going to be solids. So here we can have very dull things. They don't have to be shiny. We can have powders, we can have gases, we can have liquids. And these over here on the right, the nonmetals, are very poor conductors of electricity. Now, what is the staircase? Why is this special? This is called the metalloids. And you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different metalloids that this book considers metalloids. Now, metalloids are special because they share metals properties as well as non-metals properties. So they can be malleable or they cannot be malleable. They can be shiny, they can be dull. They can be good conductors of electricity, they can be bad conductors of electricity. So these are the dividing line between metals and non-metals. And when we start naming, we're going to have very specific rules for naming metals to non-metals. And with that, that's all I want to talk about the periodic table. We have groups that are the columns. We have periods, which are the rows. We have metals on the left. We have non-metals on the right. And we have metalloids going down the middle.